Hey guys, we are here at Eurobike day 2 and
Meeting breakfast. It's not actually open just yet, but
yes, so we are just exploring different booths. Today we have a special guest that we're going to speak with. It's definitely a special experience. So tell me about that croissant, Chris.
the baked goods are generally better in Germany. The standard is higher. The standards for bikes are higher here too. I've said this before.
Baked goods and bikes and beer in Germany. We are here today at the Vello booth with Valentin, who is the co-founder and designer of Vello. Thought it would be a great idea to start by talking about the history of Vello and how it came about.
So Vello is a brand from Austria, Vienna, Austria. It's in the heart of Europe. After a holiday to the Caribbean, we decide to make bikes for everyday life. Going also on the trips, but also being moving around in your own city. The idea was to revolutionize how people moving in the city, moving away from the car and doing more biking. And we wanted to design something that is more fitable to small spaces. You know, people don't have always big houses. So we find out that actually a folding bike could be very interesting and you can take it everywhere with you. It's like your companion. And this was very important for us. So we designed the Vello Bike, the folding bike, that you can fold very quick. And for us was the DNA, you need to ride really like a normal bike, even better. I can show you how it folds. So you go here, take out. What is also one of our advantages as a folding bike, first of all, you don't see the folding. And also there's no hinges in the frame.
I love that.
You step here and you make this movement. And you can roll it, you can take it with you. It's very light, and you can also fold it completely small, like putting all these parts down. And the idea is that you can, with one move, you can unfold it and start riding.
That's amazing. So quick and easy, opens up access to being able to travel with your bike on transit or
Absolutely.
In other ways.
And it's also not only for the last mile. What we are believing is that you can actually take it for bigger rides, for longer rides, and that's why we designed the frame and everything very stable and sturdy.
Where did you end up with the next iteration? And we see that you've got some bikes that transport families or goods. And
so as an urban bike, what was our first aim to make the city mover, to have a solution for the perfect bike for the city. Then with the time we find out that actually, for example, if you have a family, this is of course for a single person, or you can go with your friends around and stuff. It's make super fun. But then if you want to take some people with you, or having some groceries, then you have the problem where you put it. And that's why we find out that actually if we design the same concept for the folding bike, very compact, but very powerful cargo bike, then this could be a perfect solution for the city. And I can show you, for example, here, it's the same concept like the folding bike, super light. All the accessories you can plug in and out without having to use tools. For example, we can show you, it's just plug and play.
Super easy.
You can put two persons, two kids or one grow up on the bike. You can use the cargo area for goods, shoppings. You can put bags, all kinds of accessories. You can see the full range. And the idea is that the same length as a standard bike, so it's not longer, it's also not heavier than a normal cargo bike. So we start by the weight of the titanium.
So maybe you could tell me a little bit more about the choice to use a titanium frame.
Sure. The one part of the titanium is that it's very light. This allows us to have an electric bike roughly around 50 pounds. The titanium is a material that never rusts. You can dump it in a sea and then take it, I don't know, 500 years later.
Wow.
It's going to be the same. It's amazing material. It's a very robust, sturdy material that never age. And that's fascinates us. As a producer, as a brand, that you can have something for life.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And the quality is something that we always are very fascinated about. For example, like the companies that give you a lifetime warranties. That's something that we reintroduced in our brand because we believe in the quality and also in the making of things. And yeah.
That is one thing that I've noticed just in Europe in general. It seems to be that more brands and people and things in Europe support the idea of a circular economy and that things are not ending up in a landfill. And I love that this frame, you could end up putting it in a sea and 500 years later, it's not rusted. And so yesterday we were here and I saw you guys accept an award. You want to tell me more about that?
Oh, of course, we are very happy. We got honored by the Eurobike show. They re-awarded this bike, the cargo bike, as a Eurobike winner. And as you see how many bikes are in that show, we're very humbled and honored about this award and very happy.
Something also really unique about this specific bike is it's the only long-tail cargo bike with a titanium frame.
Yes, that's normally use titanium for racing bikes or something other applications, but we think that if you use it for racing bike for performance, why not using it for a cargo bike, which makes even more sense because you are even lighter than the normal cargo bike, and then you can take it around and move it around also in the cities. This is the inspiration why we took titanium, and also we control the whole production of the titanium. So from the earth that produces the titanium hearts until the fully production. So it's also this type of metal compared to carbon fiber or other composite materials, you can recycle it. The core of our DNA is the riding performance.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing, because you ride the bike. We test also the bikes when we develop the bikes without the motor, without anything. So if you can ride it and it makes fun and it's really good geometry, then we put the motor, we electrify it and everything else. So for us, the geometry is very important. Also the functions of the bikes, because you can, for example, with our bike, you can adjust the height. Also, for example, in the morning you want more sporty riding, you want to go faster, or in the evening you want to be more relaxed, you can adjust the height of the seats. You can also swap between different riders without tools. A very important feature for us is that you can basically make the bike completely flat. This comes also from our hometown, where basically cargo bikes are not really allowed in a small spaces for the bicycle garages in the buildings. So we came up with the idea that if you design a cargo bike that is even smaller than a standard bike, nobody gonna complain that is stored in your doorway. And this is actually what you can see here. That is the
so you
bike.
Guys beat the
can
system
make
a
it
little
completely,
bit.
yes. We love that.
Yes.
And you can see it's a 20 centimeter wide bike. It's super light. You can also put it in a vertical position, and this is exactly the length of a standard bike. And this was the goal of our design, to design something that is super compact and it has the same DNA ideas of the folding bike and the functionality.
I noticed that it's got the Bosch motor system as well as the Gates carbon belt drive with the NVOLO. Can you tell me how you decided upon using those?
So the second part of our concept is to make it very light, but also use the most powerful components. And this is the combination that makes actually the difference on the market. So we're using actually the most powerful motor on the market with the CX cargo line, the newest version. And you can have 400 watts and 100 Newton meter power. Okay, I was right. It's a 52 points, a little bit above 50 pounds. That's great. That's great.
Yes.
You know the ants, yeah? So the ants, they can carry 10 times more their own weight.
Oh, little ants.
The little ants,
yeah.
Yes. So that fascinated me from my childhood, that you can have such a small team.
That's amazing. Yes.
That can carry 10 times of their own weight. And this inspires us also to make the bike 50 pounds. And I can tell you immediately how much you can load. Almost 10 times. It's a 462 pounds.
That
so you can carry 462 pounds. So you can have 220 pounds on the carrier at the back, which is amazing. Yeah.
That is really amazing.
You can put a person, carry around, or 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. So Valentin, how about you show me a little bit about the child carrying accessories that you've got?
No, that's great. I show here. Here.
Oh, one more.
Yes.
No, yeah.
That was just Valerie, who is also co-founder of Vello. You guys may have seen her last year.
One of the reasons why the bike was nominated and got award is the accessories range, especially the cocoon, ecological made fabric, that reflects. You can see when you move, especially in the night when the car lights and so on, you can see it from 150 meter away. And the idea
Another
is...
opportunity to translate.
Oh yeah, right. So the idea is that that you can have a completely reflection, 360 degree. That's the same.
Yes, the same.
360 degree reflection, which means that you can see the bike from everywhere. And the safety is the main goal, what we always want to have for our child, for ourselves. So that's very important for us. And you need to be visible. If you have like a rainy day, you can be completely protected. There's still airflow in the cabin. And our main idea was that, okay, you have something that is for a rainy day, but sometimes you have a rainy day and then the half of the day is the sun shining.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Your kid's gonna stick in and then not enjoy the sun, so that you can open and you can plug it here.
Oh wow.
Because you use it and there's no tools, you can just plug and play. Here you can open, it's like a two-way protection, and you can open the door and your kiddos can go in by themselves. You can also have a space in these bags for groceries.
That is actually one of my favorite features of the bike, because as a mom, I know that children get heavier as they get older, and they like the sense of independence of being able to open it themselves and hop on, and that's a really
and then
great
when it's
feature as well.
raining, then you just close it, and then you can... They feel very protected inside, but it's still the idea is that you feel protected, but you can still completely see around what's happening. You can see on the top.
Yes.
Yeah, that's completely
That's
visible.
great.
And also other participants also can see that you're carrying people.
A child, yeah. I also love that the kids can't throw their stuff out over the side of the railings because they're trapped in there. So it keeps all the belongings in as well.
Yeah.
Added perk.
Well, you need to connect your bike with a phone, and the bike is smart bike, so it's about smart vehicles, connected vehicles. We want to make it very easy for the users. So you can plug it here, it's very stable. You can have your mapping, you can have all kinds of apps. You can see how fast you go, where you go, you know where you're going. You can even GPS track the bike.
That's great.
And the best part is you can also charge your phone while you're riding from the main battery. So.
Really, really awesome. Smart in design, smart in technology, a very much capable and smart bike overall, I would say.
Yeah.
Valentin, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much.
This is a wonderful product, and I'm really grateful that we're able to carry this bike in our shop. We've now been carrying it for a year. Chris met Valerie and Valentin last year at Eurobike, and we sparked up a conversation, which turned us into the first US dealer for Vello. And we're really proud to carry this brand. It's really a delight to work with Vello as a company, which is something that's actually really important to us in choosing partners. If you're interested in more technical details about the products, last year we did do some more in-depth reviews of the products with Chris and Valerie, so check those out in the description below. And now I'm gonna head outside with Valerie and we're gonna ride some bikes. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is showcasing the utility of these bikes. Okay.
So are you going to be sitting like that and then, all right.
So they'll ride in front of us?
Alrighty.
I am chronically in turbo mode.
You as well. I hope we're having the same. Actually have it on red and like super fast speed.
Valerie, we were just talking about what it's like to ride bikes in Europe. I'm specifically curious about how you use the Vello in Austria, in Vienna.
Yeah, so I really use it for my daily commutes. And actually, a lot of my friends as well. Like we don't own cars in the city, and just to get around, taking your kids to school, kindergarten, going shopping, so you can all make it fit into a cargo bike. Super useful. You can tilt it as well, so it doesn't take a lot of space if you store it at home.
One thing that he showed was how it can stand up on the rear.
Yeah, you can tilt it, but what I find very useful as well is just to really tilt it, the front, and make it super slim, and also fold the pedals and everything else so that it's not in your way. So before, when we prototyped the bike, I stored it at home, my small space, small apartment in Vienna, and also took it with my child. like for a good year, different prototypes. And he was actually the one who said, Mommy, like, you know, the railing was just not, he's not very sporty. He couldn't get into the back because of the closed railing. We invented the railing that can open up so he can get in more easily. We got his feedback the whole time throughout, you know, from a child's perspective. It's a family bike, needs to be comfortable, convenient for the child, and functional and useful for the parent, you know, for everyday life.
So one thing Valentine had mentioned was how some of the design elements came from this idea from childhood about ants having the ability to carry up to 10 times their weight. Thinking about your son and the feedback that went into the design process of how these very small moments can make such drastic impact on the products that are designed. And I just, like being at this show and seeing all of the elements that go into design, it's really quite fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't just take, like, you have a vision at first, you know, what you want to create, like how you see the world, how you want to create the world around you, the world you want to live in as well, and want to see more people using bikes, you know, just for the environment, getting cars a little bit off the streets so have more room for kids to play as well there, and safer, really. And that is the vision, basically, the drive behind it. But then comes the next step, is like, what do you want as a brand? What do you think are the problems you're going to solve in terms of the product? Then here we saw, like when we started with the folding bike, is like, well, it's so functional, practical. People are not using folding bikes because people felt they don't ride that well or they're too heavy. So that was the product problem we're trying to solve, which we did. And here with the cargo bike, it's the same. As like, I don't have space to store my cargo bike. Like cities, you don't have a lot of space. So we were here as well as like, you know, our DNA is lightweight mobility. So that's where we started. We need to create a bike, really, we push the boundaries and make it really light, so that really everyone need be, you know, can take it down, carry it down to the basement if there's some steps. Or that was the initial briefing, basically, our own, you know, push to make something new and brave and innovative. Yeah, and then it's a couple of years. So you create prototypes, and you have manufacturers as well for these products. You invest in molds, everything else, and then you see when it fits, it's like, you're good, you know, like. So we're happy as well to have gotten the recognition yesterday with the Eurobike award.
Yeah, that's...
To show that, yes, this is something, you know, that we did create something new. Now we're just talking to someone who was saying, well, Chicago's so amazing around Lake Michigan. You have these bike lanes. So it's good to hear. I was talking with the US Investment Summit. Detroit as well is doing quite a lot from what I heard. But of course, like, you know, being very much involved first in Austria as well with the bicycling association in Austria. We talk to the ministries as well when we want to see change. For example, in Austria, you have old regulations that haven't been changed since 2013. So you're not allowed in Austria to carry 2 children in the back. So longtails, because the regulation that they have in place have not been changed. So there are many other things, you know, that are just old. So there's a lot of work to do already in Austria. So if you want to get more people, you know, you have these goals, the green goals in Austria as well, at the CO2 emissions. You're not going to achieve it if the cycling regulations are so restrictive. So there's a lot to do in Austria, but I mean, we have cycling lanes that are great. I love also riding around in other cities in Europe. Paris has done a lot as well. You get inspiration when you go there, and you exchange with others in the biking community in Austria. You have studies as well. This works, this type of lanes, cycling infrastructure works to get more people on bikes. So it really is a concerted effort sometimes to get many involved, because you can be in the bike business like us, producing bikes, but you really, to create a change, you need many people around you who want to make it happen. And then you do see it happening. I mean, you know, the Netherlands, like things are completely different 20 years ago, and it's really, you can look up to the cities like, look, you know, you can have happier, better cities. Copenhagen, city #1 in terms of best cities to live in Europe.
It's quite interesting to me, because once I became convinced that this mode of transportation is the future, been nothing stopping me at making sure we're advocating for safer infrastructure, better support, and all of those things. So I think there's sort of this natural cause that occurs, and it's
absolutely
really pretty special.
You know, you get positive feedback as well from the people around you. I think in the States, you know, people love to, you know, give feedbacks like, wow, I love what you're doing, because it's maybe different if you're in the suburbs and biking. So then you're an agent of change, but you need a lot of people to make it happen.
This is my first time actually visiting Europe, so I'm getting a little bit of an experience of infrastructure. There seems to be a little bit more of a connection to this from the suburbs to the city, of being able to ride your bike from the suburbs to transit to the city to really get around. In the US, there's a lot of disconnect in the infrastructure, and I think there's, as more and more people begin to see that these truly are the future, we're going to see better infrastructure. But it is true, we need more people to advocate to buy these bikes, ride them, and
yeah, we do have, like in the suburbs, usually like you go by train, so it's very common. You have a good network, train stations around. So it's also a natural fit to have a bike with the train. So intermodal commuting. So when we designed, for example, the Sub, we looked at the standards for the Deutsche Bahn or ÖBB, what you're allowed to take on the train. So the standard, the length, fits exactly these norms, allowed, permissible to take it on the train. So and then you can lift it as well. So the idea is always like, all right, if you need to you're in the suburbs, you need to take your child to school, you go with the cargo bike, and then you work in the city, which is, 20 miles away. You get on the train, and then you have to take the cargo bike for the last couple of miles as well. So that's a different way of thinking, I think, as well, and because we have these well-connected cities and suburbs.
Honestly, it seems that there's like a better quality of life from being able to get around by bike and transit. The opportunity to experience transport differently, to enjoy transportation. Your son probably agrees, but riding by bike to get someplace versus riding in a car, it's just a totally different experience. My two kids much rather get around by bike.
Exactly, and they get excited, it's like, in the car, it's like, okay, well, it's comfortable, but it's exciting to sit in the back of a bike,
Yes, it really is.
Looking at the screen, sitting in the back, not observing anything because you're looking at the screen.
Right.
When you're on the bike, like no child is going to think about taking the screen out, but they're going to start looking around and just,
this is their screen. Right?
Yeah, exactly. This is their screen. Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to work with you, to have done this ride together, to have just experienced a little tour with Valentine inside, and we're really just super grateful for the Vello brand and working together. We're just interested to see the brand continue to grow across America, and the utility of these bikes are really something exceptionally special. If you want to check out more Vello bikes, look at the link in the description, and see you later.